And tip number 1 is to scope the subject.
First we have blurting. A little bit biased.
It's much more effective to spread it out.
The first thing is they're going to need to be able to self-motivate.
The ultimate way to ensure that you actually understand all the little nitty-gritty details is to explain it to someone else.
There are so many study techniques out there. In this video, I'm going to be summarizing everything I know. First, I'm going to be talking about study techniques which I don't use at all. And I'll talk about why I don't use them later in this video. So first off, the first study technique that we have is...
Alright guys, active recall.
Active recall is the
active recall, and why is...
Now, active recall is basically anything which requires you to test yourself. And there's a lot of study techniques which fall under active recall. For example, there is... Now we can basically use the Feynman technique to explain the muscle reflex to move away from the water. Now the Feynman technique is basically simplifying a complex topic into simple terms that even a child can understand. I can talk about the whole response that my body had using a football game. So essentially there's a keeper, and the keeper basically has the best view of the game and can basically see any bad outcome which might occur. So if the keeper realizes that something is about to happen, and in this case it's me touching the hot water, the keeper would then tell the defenders. So in biological terms, the sensory neuron would then tell the relay neuron. So after it reaches the defender would then tell the center midfielders. And in this case, the relay neuron would just tell other relay neurons. And the center midfielders would then tell the strikers. And in this case, the relay neuron will finally tell the motor neuron. And then only when the strikers hear about the news and realizes what's about to happen, the strikers would then do something. And in biology, the motor neuron would then realize what's going on and would then... I might be completely wrong with this muscle jerk reaction and all the neurons and stuff like that because I haven't done biology for quite some time. Okay, next up we have... Right, I recently think there's this graph of effectiveness to remember your work and effort of the study technique. I think the more effort you put into studying, the more effective it would be. Here's an example to prove the graph. Let's say I'm going to do mindless reading, and the orange box is where my eyes are. So mindless reading is not very effective, but it doesn't take much effort at all, as it can be done very quickly. So I'll put it somewhere over here on the graph. And here's an example using active recall. So in active recall, I would first read and understand what is going on in my textbook. And then I'll go to Notion and I would make a toggle list. And on the toggle, I would first write a question for the thing that I learned. And inside it, I would write the answer for it. So the next time I would revise, I would first look at the question and then I'll be practicing active recall by thinking of the answer. And when I think of the answer, then only I'll open the toggle and we'll see if the answer that I thought is actually the correct answer. Active recall does take a lot of effort, but it is also effective as well. So I'm putting it over here. Blurting is basically basically a study technique where you read your notes first, and after you have done reading, you just close your notes and draw a mind map on a piece of paper of everything that you have read. And that uses active recall as well, because you'll be testing yourself. Right, let me tell you why I don't actually use active recall and all those study techniques. The main reason is just because I'm just too lazy to make my own questions, and I'm just too lazy to read a textbook. But here are some things which I actually do. The first thing is that I always take frequent breaks, and I think that's very important in studying. You need to have frequent breaks to actually study well. And the second thing is quite different. I'm going to bring in a term. The term is called not that Ubuntu, but this one. I'm going to bring in Netflix to explain this word, Ubuntu.
It's a way of life. It's a way of living. Person is a person through other people. I can be all I can be unless you are all you can be.
Your happiness, my happiness.
Oh, no, your happiness is my happiness.
Right, so to wrap things up, Ubuntu basically means I am who I am because of who we all are. So that means a person is happy when they are with other people who are happy, and a person can heal when they are with other people who have already healed. And a person can get good grades when they're surrounded with friends who have very good grades. So I guess the best study technique is still whatever works for you, but it's also to surround yourself with friends who are very smart and they're very good. And if you think about it, surrounding yourself with like friends also breaches that curve, because when you're with friends, it doesn't cost you any effort. It's fun being with your friends. Studying with friends is very effective, as you can discuss with each other and you can share answers and all that stuff. So it is effective and it doesn't take much effort. So it breaches the whole curve, and I think all in all, that is the best study technique. Alright, that's it for this video, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.